I'm going to talk about Romans 8. You know, it's foggy today. Look at this. So I thought I would just kind of show you kind of, what do you call that, a peninsula? Is that even the way you say it, peninsula? There you go. Thank you, traffic, for trying to like share Bible study in Romans 8 and talk about things here. About, there you go, baby. Romans 8. All right. I want to make these brief. How you doing? I'm Jonathan. Email me. You know the drill. Americana417@gmail.com. Hello. All right. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. The Bible's full of it. Look, that's where I'm keeping some advice. That's my placeholder. Check this out. Holla, holla, shakala, green dollar, give me. It says, then what shall we say to all this? If God is for us, who can be against us? Who can be our foe? If God is on our side. You know what? That's what I want to talk about. God's for you. And you know, I think there's two mistakes that people make with the Bible. The first thing is that they read too much of it. You're like, oh my goodness, this doesn't make any sense. How can you read too much Bible if you like the Bible? Well, no, I think you could read too much. I think you can do too much of anything. Like you could eat too much. You could exercise too much. You could, in fact, remember that chick that died because she drank too much water. She was doing like kind of a game show thing. You can Google it. In fact, put the link on this because people are like, oh my God, I don't think this guy is like, what's he talking about? Like you could do too much of a lot of things. So there's two mistakes people make, is that they read too much of the Bible, you know, and so if you're in that camp, and sometimes I'll go through different phases. Sometimes I'll go through a phase where it's like, man, I need to just dial back, or maybe I'll move more into music or more into arts or more into the cinema, and I'll find God more there for a season. And I'll always come back. John 15, baby. Hashtag John 15. If you remember from my prior videos, John 15 is kind of it's a sacred chapter for me, John 15. But so one mistake is that people read too much of it. And so if that's you, then just know God is for you. Just read one verse. And for those people who read too much, dial back, baby, and just find one verse and just kind of live that verse. Live the verse. I think it was Rilke, the French philosopher. He says, live the questions. In fact, just Google that. Live the questions. You know, so maybe for a while you just want to live that. You know, like right now, just to believe that God is for me and that who could be my foe. In fact, I even read that today in another place. Sometimes I like to see things in a couple of different lights, or you know, sometimes I'll read different versions of the Bible. Like the Message Bible really speaks a lot to me right now. Let me find this here, or maybe I don't know you. I have no idea who you are reading this. Maybe you just need this one here. It says, "Oh Lord, be my helper." Maybe that's all you need to focus on today. Oh Lord, be my helper. Just read Psalms 30, verse 10. It says, Hear, O Lord, have mercy and be gracious to me. O Lord, be my helper. All I'm doing is saying, you know, hey, just find one verse. So just find one verse. Or maybe just two words, your truth and your faithfulness. Or maybe you want a blessing. Maybe you want to bless your life. You can literally bless your life. You can read this over your life. Psalms 31, it says,